How we doing, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of FSI's PGA Preview. We have the WGC Workday Championship. I'm sitting here with John, the big winner again. John, congratulations on another big win. Talk to us about it. How was Sunday?
Sunday was sweet. That lineup wasn't even my best lineup in the 20 max entry. I had it in the 20 max $3 and the 20 max 10-cent event. It ended up taking down the 10-cent event, and then second place in the $3 for a 5K cash out. Really 5,200 if you count the both of them for a $3.10 investment. So it was fantastic. My cash line had 5 out of 6, and it doubled up as well. That's really what I'm shooting for every week. I could have missed that entire GPP and still would have been on the plus side this week. That is, I believe, 4 in a row now on the cash side, and 3 out of those 4 were 5 out of 6. So yeah, the lineup was great. I had Finau come storming up the leaderboard, and then I had Sam Burns and Homa as well. So all 3 of the top 3, and then had some other juicy guys in there as well. So a lot of good picks. I mean, everyone came out of our player pool from this week. So I'm ready to get right back at it. We were on a lot of really good guys last week. Matt Jones was one of them that helped me out a ton. And Scotty Scheffler, low owned, had a great week too. So yeah, a lot of good picks. It was fun. I'm ready to do it again. If I could pull 5K every once a month, that'd be sweet. Let's do it.
Yeah. If I was pulling 5K a month too, I would be loving it as well. Max Homa was in the GPP core for me. I was really strong on him. Unfortunately, I was bitten by that +1 cut line, so my upside seemed to be cut short, but it was still a breaking even kind of week, and fun to watch that tournament. You know, you have to feel for Tony Finau. I remember I heard you allude to that in the preview video. If you have not got a chance to watch that, please do. John breaks down a new course that we'll talk about here in a minute. But yeah, that's much vital information that we needed for this week with a new course. And, you know, hopefully Tony finds his win. Just kind of brutal, but at the same time, you know, he kind of does it to himself. He doesn't close, and Tony Chokes is the nickname I'm giving him from here on out.
He should have won on that first hole of the playoff. So it's, you know, Max Homa's up against a tree, and that should have been it. But Homa earned it. Yeah,
definitely, 100%. All right, so WGC, we're at concessions in Florida, Bermuda grass. We're going to talk about some favorite plays here. I'm going to go with Tyrrell Hatton at 9,600, a 22.5 to 1 odd golfer, the number 5th in the world. He has won in Florida at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. He has won recently at Abu Dhabi, 22nd in Dubai, and he has been at Dubai, he had that insane 7 under Friday to make the cut and completely propel him back into the field. And he finished 6th in Saudi. He's gone off, and Tyrrell Hatton has been one of the most impressive golfers in all of the world. And now we get him first time in stateside. Makes me a little nervous because typically guys that have been playing in Europe for a long period of time, they get over to the States and they got to adjust. But, you know, Tyrrell Hatton is winning at an 18% clip right now. And he's going to be in a lot of my lineups this week at 9,600. And then Daniel Berger at 93. Obviously, we just saw him win 2 weeks ago at the AT&T. A great Bermuda putter, Florida guy. You know, he's got the Florida State background. You can't go wrong at 93. I expect chalk from Mr. Berger this week, but it's going to be good chalk. Definitely. Yeah, it's going to be good chalk, and I'm probably going to be very balanced in my approach. What are your thoughts on those two guys, and what about your favorite this week?
Yeah, I think you on some good points there on Hatton. I think it helps that he took last week off and didn't try and come over, play the Genesis, and then go to the other side of the country here. So I think that does kind of benefit Hatton a bit. My guess is he's been hanging out there in Florida, getting accustomed to the time change, the climate, all that, and getting ready to go. So I expect a pretty good week out of him, and I like the price quite a bit here.
Yep, absolutely. What about you? Who is your favorite this week?
Sure. So for me, I'm just going with one up near the top. I like a lot of these guys. You know, I think somebody who's probably over 9K is going to win this event. We're probably not talking about a long shot here. That's pretty common on the WGC events, but I'm taking Brooks Kepka here, 9,500. I think if you're an outright better, the 26 to 1 is fantastic. He just won a couple weeks ago at the Waste Management Phoenix Open, and to get 26 to 1 odds, I think that's got to be like a first click for me. Unfortunately, Minnesota doesn't allow the betting yet. But yeah, 26 to 1 is just fantastic here. He is really good at the WGC events. He's top 5 in 4 out of his last 6 WGCs. That includes a winner and a runner-up at the last 2 years of the WGC St. Jude. Again, winner in February at the Waste Management. And Bermuda is his best putting surface, so I really like that here. The difficult courses, this is when he tends to excel, and also when there's big prize pools, and that's what we have this week. He's not just really good at the majors, but also at these events where there's a really big prize pool. Brooks tends to show up and get himself up the leaderboard. So I don't know if the money is the only incentive, but he certainly he does well. And then stats, last 36 rounds, he is 6th on approach. I really like that. 8th in driving distance. That's on my video here. I think that's going to be really important this week on a really long course. 12th tee to green. So a lot to like here on Brooks Kepka. He was somebody I was debating kind of for a one and done. So I think he's a good fit there too, if you've still got him left.
Yeah, that's a good, solid pick. Brooks Kepka is definitely a guy that shows up for the big fields and the big tournaments. I don't mind him. I have been going back and forth with a friend about who's been a better golfer, DJ or Brooks, in their careers, and he's gonna laugh when he hears this, but I don't mind Kepka at 9,500 in the GBP. It sounds pretty good.
Yeah, price is really nice.
Yeah, and and that being said, let's not forget this is a no-cut event. Guys at the top like Rom, JT, and DJ are all viable options, but we're trying to give you guys some favorites in this 9K range that really help out the balance of your lineups and the builds. So let's get into some value plays. Value for you here. Who do you have as your top plays for value?
So yeah, my first one that I kind of gravitated to here was Will Zalatoris. He's 8K on DraftKings, 70 to 1 odds. I probably don't really love this outright bet. I don't know that this is the event that Will Zalatoris is going to get his first PGA Tour win on. He doesn't even have a PGA Tour card yet at this point. He's just been able to qualify for all these events on sponsor exemptions, and then he's played so well, he keeps getting qualified into different events, including the Genesis last week, where he finished 15th in a really, really tough field on a really tough course. So I like that a lot. I think there's quite a bit of upside. He could find himself again, top 10, top 15. Don't love him for the win, but he's just excellent on approach here. He's 3rd on approach over his last 36 rounds. He's also 7th in driving distance and 14th tee to green. He pops really well on avoiding bogeys. This course has a ton of sand, has a bunch of water. So really, I like a guy who's just going to get it up and down for par when he needs to. This course is going to require that. The form is absolutely outstanding. 7th at the Farmers, finished 5th at Shriners, at top 15 last week. He's been just playing awesome. Hasn't missed a cut since October. Really the only knock on him, he's not a great Bermuda putter. He loses, it's about 0.25 strokes per round. So really versus the course average, he's going to lose 1 full stroke over the 4 days this week. That's realistic, but I think he makes up for it on approach and then some. I put him inside the top 20 more often than not at this event this week. So I really like Will. And he's a guy we play a ton. He's a favorite, I think, in the industry, just an up and comer, and I'm gonna hammer him quite a bit this week, as well as this second guy here, Justin Rose. Even better price, 7,700. The same odds, 70 to 1. This to me is a much better 70 to 1 bet to win. I think Justin has a much better pedigree as far as ability to just win events than Will Zalatoris. But DraftKings price, I'll take that discount of an extra $300 in my salary. He was second just a couple weeks ago at the Saudi International. So he's been playing well overseas. He has not played stateside yet this calendar year. So it'll be his first event. But again, just like Hatton, he's had some time off. I think he's going to be ready to go. He's also won WGC events twice in his career. So he's a winner. He's a major winner. WGC champion, lot to like there. And then on the stats, 23rd on approach over his last 36 rounds, top 25 driving distance, really good at sand saves, and then gains on Bermuda and also at difficult courses. So a lot of things we're looking at, not knowing the exact stats needed. I think he's a great play this week in Justin Rose.
Awesome. I really love Justin Rose. Probably going to be a top pick for me as well at 7,700. I've been scouting him for weeks, and hopefully a culmination of maybe a first place finish, because I'm thinking about betting that 70 to 1.
Like it.
So yeah, so let's get into my slide here for the value plays. I like Hideki Matsuyama. He's great tee to green, no cut event specialist. Just a guy, this is kind of like your GBP value play of the week here at 8,400. I think guys have been kind of bitten by him over this California West Coast swing. Typically plays well in Phoenix. He didn't play so well. His ball striking's been pretty random, but I think Hideki Matsuyama, who is won on a Jack Nicklaus course before, he's won Memorial in Columbus. He's just has this WGC, this no cut aura of him. Like, he finished 22nd at the Workday. Although that was a cut event, but that was another Nicklaus course. He's finished 20th at the St. Jude. He finished 6th at the WGC before that I can't remember, but Hideki Matsuyama, 8th in the model, 17th on the approach, 12th tee to green. Gonna hope for some low ownership, and that's kind of what you need in no cut events to separate yourself from a lot of the same lineups that we get from time to time on chalk plays. I think Hideki won't be chalk, and that's going to separate you in GPPs. I love it.
Agreed.
All right. Let's get into some sleeper picks, some long shots. I'll let you go first, because my guy, people are going to raise some eyebrows on. So
Sure.
Go ahead and talk
I'll
to
take
us about
Robert McIntyre, Bobby McIntyre here, 7,400. I think the price is okay. I would have maybe liked it just under that 7K mark, but yeah, 150 to 1. He's been playing really well over on the Euro Tour. He finished 3rd in January at the Omega Dubai Desert Classic. He is really good on long par fives. And he is 9th on the Euro Tour right now for greens and regulation. He's also towards the top there, top 50 in driving distance. So I think there's quite a bit to like at the price. I don't know that a ton of people are going to play him just being a Euro Tour guy. I think we kind of get a little ownership dip in Euro Tour guys versus PGA Tour guys down in this range. People just assuming that they're inferior when Bobby McIntyre can play with these guys. So he's just fine there. I like him quite a bit. I'll let you take it away with Lipsky, that probably most of our listeners don't know who that is.
Yeah, real quick on McIntyre, as a frequent Euro Tour player on the DFS circuit. McIntyre is typically a 9K, 10K player. So to get him at 7,400, and I know this is a better field that he's ever played in, compared to the European Tour, but this is a guy that's way underpriced. If you were to take a shot at him at 151, I would not blame you one bit. He's a lefty. I love Bobby McIntyre. I got a lot of upside for him. David Lipsky, 6K, min price, 400 to 1. You're wondering why on earth and what I consider Lipsky. Well, Lipsky helps you fit those builds that go DJ Rom or DJ JT, or maybe DJ and a 9K and a high 8K. Getting that min price in as your GBP play, you don't have to worry about him making a cut. All you need Lipsky to do is score birdies, and that's exactly what he does on par fives. So if you can lock in maybe 2 to 3 birdies around on those par fives, and then, hopefully he doesn't, completely lose it everywhere else on the course, I think he'll be just fine. He's finished 23rd last week on the Corn Ferry Tour. He finished 35th in Dubai, and he was 5th in Abu Dhabi, a tournament that Tyrrell Hatton won. I mean, he's very capable of that upside. He's an American golfer that plays regularly on the European Tour, and he's trying to currently earn his tour card back on the Corn Ferry Tour. He plays a lot of golf. I love Lipsky for just DraftKings points, and that's what we want at 6,000 min price. I think he's going to do just fine. He's going to be in quite a bit of my GBP lineups, so I can try to fit in those top tier golfers. But that'll wrap things up for some sleepers. Is there anything else you wanted to add on golfers and strategy? Any last moment thoughts?
No, I think we hit it pretty good. Again, all those guys near the top are certainly accessible at this no cut event. You're not worried about guys missing the cut in the 6K range. So I think we're going to see quite a bit of strange looking lineups, but those can be very successful at this event.
Absolutely.
And then we could jump into some one and dones.
Yep, let's talk one and done. I had Cantlay last week. He was sort of a weekend dud. You had Adam Scott, who battled back to get you a little bit of a position on Sunday.
You made up some ground on Sunday.
We made cuts, they cut checks, and we can't argue with that. Our upside is still there for us to continue on. Mine this week is going to be Justin Rose. That's why I was really loving the Rose pick. I'm betting Rose. I'm picking him in one and done. He's going to be in a lot of my DraftKings lineups. So big Justin Rose fan this weekend. So I'll let you take it away with Mr. Hovland.
Yeah, I think you and I had a similar strategy that we probably don't want to play any of the big 6 or 8 guys, the ones that we have left, assuming we're going to want to play them at the majors. So I think just one tier below that leads me and you to Justin Rose, but meet over here to Hovland. I don't know that I'm going to love playing him at very many other events. Maybe something like the 3M or something, he could come in as one of the betting favorites, but I'm going to play him this week. Guaranteed money, lots of upside. I think he can finish top 5. And the fact that none of these golfers have played this course before, Victor Hovland does that almost every single week on tour, or at least he's only played them at one tour event in his last year or so, when everyone else has played a lot of these courses 2, 3, 5, 10 times, some of them. And at this course, everybody's a newbie. It's all level playing field. So I like that a lot for Victor Hovland this week. No experience for anybody. So.
Absolutely. We're getting this one and done strategy going pretty good. I think, we're going to get those big top tier guys at majors and towards the end of the year and those tour championships and things like that. I think we're playing this pretty well against the other top DFS and betting golf bettors of the industry. So, but that'll wrap things up. As always, please like this video, comment below if you have any questions, and subscribe to our channel. We are over 2,000 subscribers, so thank you for listening. That has been a big help to us, giving us the confidence and the abilities to give you the content that you love to listen to. John, I'm excited for you. I hope the heater continues. I hope maybe a little one sparks for me here soon, or I hit the big ticket on Justin Rose 70-1. So
that'll work.
Yeah. I think that'll do it for us. As always, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
All right, sweet.